Digital gonorrhea.
Spread it like a disease. Free and optional. This is a brand new series.
Oh, pants.
Why, hello there, and welcome. This is JohnRamboPresents The Show. My name is John, and I'm joined by the magnificent, the benevolent, some may say magical. I wouldn't say that, but someone might say it. I don't know who. Ladies and gentlemen, OJ is here.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good day.
Well done.
Thank you. And not magical, come on, dude.
Very polite intro that you had there.
Oh, well, I thank you. I
What's going on today? What's going on?
Well, I just kind of had a humongous failure at cooking myself dinner.
Did you light yourself on fire? What happened? Did you put
Not
down
this
your
time.
flips?
No.
Are you outside right now on a payphone?
No. Payphone? What's a payphone?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I decided to cook myself a burger, and I cooked it. I put it on there for maybe 18 minutes, like forever. Like the thing was burnt and everything, except for the center. Ugh. So I got through half the burger, and I was just like, oh no.
How did this happen?
E. coli for everyone. I don't know. I guess I had the heat up too high at first because I lowered it maybe halfway through, but I lowered it too much, so it didn't cook all the way through. Despite
I'm gonna
burning.
have to show you how to make a burger.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know you're the barbecue master, but I'm on the inside on a gas stove.
I'm gonna have to have a big barbecue. Any of the listeners are allowed to come. We'll have just go nuts, and I will cook burgers.
Oh man, I don't know if you want to announce that because people are gonna find out where you live, and then just the second you turn on that grill, it's over.
They can find out. I don't care.
Smoke signals.
Everyone's welcome. So, first thing I want to do today, I want to thank some of the beautiful people out there. I'm very happy with the intro that we had today. I know that you checked it out.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about the intro today?
That was amazing.
Yeah, so I want to thank two people. I want to thank, first of all, a gentleman by the name of The Gadgeteer. He contacted me yesterday, and he's like, I'm working on a comic book based on the show. So I'm like, I respond to him, I'm like, that's awesome, it's a great idea. Could you get it done by tomorrow?
Dude.
So, I didn't really give him a lot of time. I was like, if you get it to me by tomorrow, I can use it for the show, the intro on the show. So the dude actually did. He went crazy. And on super short notice, he made a 5-page comic that he hand drew, and that was what you saw at the beginning of the show. It's made by The Gadgeteer. So thanks to him again.
Thank you.
And then what I did was I took that awesome comic and I married it with an original song that was created and sent in by a great guy by the name of Honored Villager. He created that song for us. Very relaxing tune.
Oh, yeah. It's wonderful.
Very relaxing and has my voice in it, which I can appreciate, which I like. And so I want to thank both of those guys very much. It was a great intro. Perhaps the best one we've had. I don't know. They're all really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks to all you guys. And, of course, anyone else out there, if you'd like to send in your original music or original artwork, you can do so. Send them to myself or OJ, and we can put them in the intro.
Yeah, I'm really slow at answering emails, but give it a shot anyway. I'm sorry.
And the rest of you, make sure you watch it hundreds of times to drive our ratings up. That's all I can say.
Tell your friends.
Yes. So, today's episode of the show will be known as the Show International Edition. You know what that means?
IE.
The Show IE, yes. So, it's going to be a tribute to those who are spreading the digital disease that is the show, both domestically and abroad. And in keeping with that theme, we'll be reading down a giant list of digital gonorrhean infected areas And the list was actually supplied to us by all of you, so we're gonna go through that. And of course, later in the show, we'll be joined by a guest, our very first international guest, coming to us all the way from Birmingham, England, representing his awesome YouTube channel. We're gonna have Delan M will be on the show, and I have to say it's a good interview, and we know that it's because we already recorded it
in our minds psychically.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a strange order to things this week, but because of like schedules and time zones and science and all that,
weird.
We actually recorded, and science. We actually recorded with him last Sunday because it was the only time that we could all like get together. So that'll be stuck to the end of the episode today. And I thought it was good. What did you think about the interview?
It was fun. It was nice to
Enjoyed
get
it.
another perspective.
Yes. And since this is the international edition of the show, OJ will be doing the entire show in French. So,
Je ne parle pas français.
what does that mean?
I don't speak French.
Do you speak any languages?
日本語少しだけ喋るよ。
Oh, you have a little Japanese. I should know that.
少しだけ. Just a little bit.
Yeah, because I was making you speak it when we were there. So.
面白かったですね.
It's kind of sad, but I mean, like in school, they try to teach us Spanish, but they just do such a bad job of it.
It's depressing. I mean, other countries, I get the feeling they teach people, their main language, and they learn English. And in a lot of countries, they learn English like better than people do here sometimes.
Oh yeah, you go to anywhere in the world, people know multiple languages pretty much. Over here, which is a country where there's every ethnicity and people from all over, and most people only speak one language, barely can do it.
It's amazing.
That's a scary thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, so that's what we got lined up today. I want to talk about last Saturday. Last Saturday was my birthday.
It was.
But if you listened to the show last week, you would know that I actually forfeited my birthday this year. I said I will not have a birthday, and that instead January 21st will now be known as Rambourgia Day. I did this because of all the great support we've received from the people. You know, I wanted to have a day of celebration, a day of great celebration, a day for all the Rambourgia to enjoy. So I want to thank everyone for the awesome messages I got on Twitter and through other applications. I got a lot of awesome messages all throughout the day, and it really means a lot to me. And I hope everyone else had a great Rambourgia day as well. I want to talk about so I want to talk about some of the things that happened specifically that day. First thing of interest, I woke up, look outside, and there's a ton of snow.
You'd think it was October.
Yes. So, you know what I'm saying? We had snow. We had a pretty good snowfall. It was like probably like 6 to 8 inches over my area.
Pretty
I don't know what
hefty.
you got. Yeah. So, now snow in January, that's not really a big deal. But it is this year because we haven't gotten snow at all. And the only time it did snow was on Halloween, the end of October.
Yeah.
So it's kind of bizarre. So, what is this stuff? I don't even know what this is, this white stuff.
I don't want to touch it. It looks gross.
Right. Don't touch the white stuff. But I don't know where we're going with this.
CSI were having a field day, but go on.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a bunch of snow. What do you have to say about the snow?
Snow. I mean, it was pretty funny. It made travel pretty nearly impossible. I was hoping to meet John and take him out to dinner and stuff, but
yeah, we had some plans.
The weather smacked.
But I have to
that in
say,
the face.
I usually hate the snow, but since I haven't really seen it in so long, it wasn't really that bad. I actually had to go out and shovel. And I was out there for a good amount of time, but I didn't really mind it that much because it's like, you know, it's been the first time basically in a long time.
Yeah, I was outside a lot that day. I ended up walking in total 3.5 miles, like walking around town. And it was nice to experience this. No. I ended up walking down to meet some people and get food.
Okay.
I wasn't drunk.
You were lost and you're just wandering. The cops found you. Wrapped the blanket around you.
Brought me in just to give me a place to stay for the night.
So it was my birthday and I was kind of stuck in for most of the day. So
Yeah.
but I wasn't really too upset because, you know, I could deal with it once in a while and it was kind of nice in a way to like get outside and do some outdoor work and stuff. But once it starts happening often, that's when I hate it. You know.
Oh, when it's like every day you just get snow.
When it's like every day, and you got to go somewhere, and you know. So I was kind of stuck in for most of the day and did my shoveling, and then the next thing that happened I got involved in And as we talked about last week on the show, we were hoping that the official store, our official store, would be ready to roll. It's not the case. I spent several hours with you on Saturday figuring that whole thing out.
Yeah, and I spent like all night Friday trying to figure that out.
Well,
too.
you spent hours and hours upon it. You know, you worked very hard. I'm not going to bust your chops too much. I am going to do it just a little bit. So what's the status of the store right now? What's going on?
All right, so the original problem with the store, if you aren't familiar, this being the international edition, was we tried to get the store set up, you know, a quick little store that would at least, you know, put the shirts and stuff up while we put together a more complicated and good store. Unfortunately, the method we chose to do that, Google Checkout, doesn't allow for international orders.
Right.
Using
Ironically
the
enough.
used. Which just boggles my mind.
Ironically enough, that this is the international edition, which is a tribute to our international Rambourgia. And the main problem with the store is that it would not allow us to ship internationally.
Yeah, it was really depressing. I mean, I don't even understand why it would just say, nope, seller doesn't support that, despite the fact that, I mean, we can calculate shipping and figure all this stuff out and put everything in there. Yeah,
I mean, that was the problem. Like when we first started talking on Saturday, we were talking through phone, through IMs, whatever, you know, going nuts for like hours, and I was like, all right, well, you know, we're doing like mock orders, right?
Yeah.
There were orders that weren't like really going through. We were like putting credit card numbers and
just
pretending like we were buying stuff to see what would happen. So I'm like, well, what happens if you know, I'm international, and I was messing with it. I was putting in, you know, addresses I found online for like, you know, monuments or something.
Yeah, Brisbane, Australia, all sorts of stuff.
Like the Vatican and stuff, you know. And it seemed like it was allowing it. Well, first it wasn't calculating shipping. So then you added in a shipping method.
Yeah.
Then it seemed like it was allowing it, but then I noticed that, or we weren't sure. Maybe you needed like an international Google account in order to do it. So I think I actually like made one, and then it seemed like it would work, but then when we finally launched the thing, it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And it was kind of ironically enough, the dude who found out, we got to thank him for this, but we launched it, and like 2 minutes later, our friend Hazard, he tries to buy stuff, and it's funny because he's the one that actually made the show logo.
Yeah.
Of the shirt that we're selling. So I guess he goes in there and he's in the UK and he tries to pick something up, and it wasn't happening. So then he starts, you know, sending us messages saying that it wasn't allowing.
Yeah, he sent me a he sent me a Twitter message. So I started looking into the problem, and then I you know, shrunk Twitter and wasn't paying attention to it anymore while I was working on the problem.
Right.
And then eventually we just realized it's not going to work, and we had to take it down.
Right. So I mean, you know, it was cool that he caught that.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative that he let us know.
First couple minutes, because we want to make it fair for everybody, and that would have been a PR nightmare. So we don't want to, you know, shut everyone else out like that.
Yeah. So since then, I've been working.
So I think half the audience is actually internet, you know, outside the U.S.
Well, judging from all the comments we've gotten about where people are, I'd say a sizable portion of the audience is from everywhere.
It does seem like that, yes.
I didn't see any Antarctica, but we'll get there.
It means that we're going to have to take an international tour eventually.
It's going to happen.
That's all that it means.
Bam.
Well, all right, so where are we at right now? So the initial idea, the initial program that we're going to use, that's out the window because we don't want to shut out our friends internationally. Mm-hmm. So where are we at right now? Because I don't even know.
So all right, right now, so I got this shopping cart software called ZenCart, which is free and has a ton of features, many of which I'd rather turn off, actually.
Got too much stuff.
You could do everything, and then you can download little modules and stuff. So I found a module that lets you use Google Checkout. So I was testing that out. So I installed that, and then I found Now, the one thing that it didn't do, which bugged the heck out of me, was that it didn't have support for different quantities, like say the show shirt. It didn't have support for we have 3 smalls and 2 larges. It would just say we have 5 shirts.
Oh,
so I found support. Like I didn't find a single cart that had this without paying like $20 a month or something absurd like that.
Yeah.
So then I found that there's a module you can get that when you install it, it gives you that option, and you could actually change prices too. But nah, didn't bother with that. So I tried installing that, and it took me forever. And there were some database problems. It didn't install fully. I went through, found log files, hunted it down, and thankfully I got that working. And then I installed. Then I was, I also had to install a Google Checkout thing to let us use Google Checkout. Unfortunately, some of those modify the same files, so I had to go into the file, find the right part, splice them out, and splice these pieces in. And I think that I might have to do that one more time because I got everything working. Like the category pages weren't working. I had to hunt that down, fix it, and then I went to go check out. Everything worked, and then I clicked confirm order, and it took me back to my shopping cart. Fixed that.
So OG's obviously working very hard on this thing.
Oh man, I was like, sweet. I called John. I'm like, dude, this is working. I got almost everything. I just got to check the payment system. Click. Wait, I was just here. Okay, let's try this again. Click.
So what are we looking at right now? What's our ETA right now? What are we looking at, you think?
My guess is probably Monday or Wednesday.
Monday.
That's what I'm shooting. I'm shooting for Monday.
Shooting for Monday this time.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, I might have to just use the Google Checkout module and forego the quantity thing and just have click here for the show shirt large. Click here for the show shirt extra large. It's
not even that big of a deal though, because there's not that many shirts in the first place.
Yeah, it's not a big deal for the shirts. It's kind of a pain for the candles, but the shirts need to get out there.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew there'd be a problem of some sort.
Yeah, it's just how it's all.
We're lucky that we didn't get. That we're working it out before we really.
Yeah, we're making sure that when we release this the second time, it's gonna be working, it's gonna be good, and everyone's gonna be happy.
Yeah, and all the stuff is still there. I didn't lose the shirts or anything. I still have them over here.
I think I ate one.
And don't do that. It's not something you're supposed to do. But all the stuff's still here. It's waiting for you guys, and I'm keeping it nice. Don't worry. Hopefully, by next week's show, we can be like, yeah, go get it.
Knock on wood.
There's not much. There's only 20-something show shirts left.
20-something show shirts, yeah, and then we've got some Project 7 ones too.
Yeah, there's a tremendous amount of stuff. So once we get it going, everyone can go nuts and grab that stuff. So, and I think it's better that we're doing it ourselves. Like a lot of people are like, why don't you use eBay? Why don't you use Amazon or something like that? And the reason is, I mean, one of the big things that the way I like to look at this YouTube stuff or whatever stuff we do is every time we do something, we're learning how to do something.
Yeah.
So we're doing it ourselves. We're learning how to put this, or RooJames learning how to put the store together, which is good. Which is good information for the future.
Yeah.
I think one of the goals for us is to expand to a larger website at some point. So we're gonna know how to do certain things. And
MySQL PHP.
And also, I mean, eBay and Amazon, they're gonna take a big chunk of change they don't really deserve, out of that profit. So if we can do it ourselves, then we get everything we're entitled to get. So that's another big reason why.
Aye.
So, yeah, look for that maybe in the middle of the week. There'll be updates to come.
Yeah, we will let you know.
It will happen someday.
Someday.
What else is going on this week, man? Anything else you want to talk about this week?
Oh, man. If there was anything, I may have forgotten it by now. Do you remember? My gosh.
Do I remember what happened to you this week? I don't know what happened.
Okay. You're asking me if anything else happened this week. Right, that was the question.
Anything you want to discuss this week?
Anything in particular that you haven't already spoken with me about? I think that was the majority of it.
I had a problem. I'm having a problem with my phone.
Oh?
And maybe people have noticed I haven't been on Twitter too much. I have the original Android phone, and I have Verizon. What's happening is the keyboard is like the old style keyboard, which is actually buttons. It's not like a touch screen, right? Mm-hmm. So like all the keys are falling off. And I've had the phone for I think 2 years. But yeah, what's happening is all the actual keys are coming off. Like I woke up one day and like they were all like falling apart, and it's hard to type. So I don't really like to do it too much,
Yeah.
So if you I think that's why I was not responding to you a lot, John. It's not because I don't like you.
Oh, okay.
But so what happened is I have the Verizon insurance.
That's good.
I've been paying for this every month. It's $6.99 a month. I've been paying for this for 2 years. So I go to the store and they're like, well, that's through a third party, so you have to contact them separately. So I contact them, and they go, okay, we'll replace the phone for $100. So if you factor in the $100, right, plus the $7 I've paid a month for 2 years, I could have taken that sum of money and bought any phone there is. That's a good chunk of change right there, right?
7 for 2 years, right? So that's 7.
Yeah.
That's 168 plus 100. That's 268.
So I mean, you could pretty much like the most expensive phone with a contract is like $300. So I could have gotten like whatever. So now it's like, do I pay $100 and get the same phone, or do I spend $200 and get like a brand new more modern phone? So it's kind of an annoying thing, and they really rip you off, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when my phone broke, now I'm a little weird when it comes to cell phones. I don't have a smartphone.
Yeah.
I like small, thin phones that don't take up too much space and that have batteries that last for days at a time. And that's what I want in a phone, like, so I can talk and talk and talk.
That's you can hide out in the woods
for
dates. And
dude, definitely.
You're hiding from the authorities.
Mm-hmm.
Like
you
that?
need
All
something
right.
like this.
Okay.
And I mean, I just traded in my
such
phone
a rip,
for a new one.
It's a rip, man.
No matter what. I mean, I remember I was getting phones. Like, I remember the phone I got for free in 2002 was better than the phone I paid $50 for 2 years ago.
Right. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to get the phone I'm looking at right now is like $200 with another contract. I'm going to have to sign another contract, and the phone I'm getting is going to be like $200. I have to pay for that. So basically, the entire insurance thing was just free money for them that I got nothing out of.
Watch them try and pressure you into getting it again.
Oh, they probably will. It's only good like if you lose your phone within, I guess, a couple months of having it.
Well, if you want to play phone frisbee with the thing.
But I think there's already like a manufacturer's warranty for a year. I don't even know, man. It's so confusing. I didn't even know I had the insurance. I'll be honest with you. There's like
no, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, rip.
So I do remember one thing you wanted to talk about this week, and you I guess forgot.
That's why I asked you, dude. One quick thing, like, this is the sort of mind I have. I was playing Bughouse Chess, which is 4-player chess, like 2 boards with teams, but I was like, sweet. Next move, I can take my opponent's queen. This is awesome. It took maybe 10 minutes for my turn to come around again. By the time it came around, I moved a pawn, completely forgot I could have taken the queen. So my brain just in one ear, out my nose, whatever. So what did I forget to talk about? There was something.
You mentioned to me you wanted to talk about SOPA.
Oh, yeah.
I think SOPA, we've done our best to avoid talking about it, I think, for several months now.
Several weeks at least.
Yeah, I feel like everyone and their mother was talking about this thing. Except for the mainstream TV news channels. There was no ever mention of it ever, except for the day that there was like the major rallies and stuff.
Yeah. Like when Reddit closed down the other week, and
when there was like major protests and stuff, and people out on the street, then they were like, yeah, there's a SOPA thing going on.
Yeah.
But for the majority of there was no mention of it on the mainstream news and all that. But now that's all over, I'd like to give some thoughts on the whole situation, and maybe get your thoughts a little bit as well.
All right. Well, it's not. Well, I mean, it's over for now. They're probably going to bring it back.
Yeah, they will.
Something else.
We'll talk about that too. But what do you have to say about just the whole thing in general?
It's just terrible, man. I mean, the internet is one of the few places left we have where you can just say whatever you want, do whatever you want, without really too much worry about getting shut down. And I mean, this is bad. Like, if somebody posts, let's say you have a website and somebody posts like a copyrighted song, like on your, as a comment on your blog, they could take your entire site down while they figure it out and stuff like that. Unless this is what I read about it. I mean, and they'd be putting this idiotic garbage into the DNS system in a way that people, the way that we hunt down and find, when you type in an address, how it gets to where it's going to support this, and it would just be really awful.
It's really stupid.
And the thing is, they need this. Ostensibly, this was to knock out pirates and stuff in foreign countries. But I mean, even without SOPA, they still took down Mega Upload pretty quickly.
Well, there are already laws in place for copyright stuff. It's just not.
Yeah.
They have trouble enforcing it. So what they tried to do is, instead of using a scalpel, they tried to use a object that's the opposite of a scalpel.
You mean like a ballista, a grenade
launcher,
launcher,
like that.
an A10 Warthog?
Right. So obviously the thing was bad. I don't think we really have to talk about why it was bad. I think pretty It's pretty obvious. I think people know, what was wrong about it.
Yeah.
But I will say this, about it. People are really pissed off at Congress and the Senate, and the federal government in general, and rightfully so. But here's the deal on that. All these people, all these guys have always been the same, and they're the same now. They're old men.
Mm-hmm.
They're misinformed old men.
Mm-hmm.
And their main goal is to pretty much make a buck for themselves.
Yep.
And to stay in power.
Yep.
And the way I look at this, the real villains in this are the companies that push this thing along because their money and their power, has influence over our government, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the ones that try to get this thing done. So what I've actually sent to you, OJ, is a list of the companies that supported SOPA.
Yeah, very long list.
That made this happen. Because these old men in Congress, they're not going to just go out and be like, we need to, make sure people don't pirate Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo. They're not going to do that. Someone's got to, hold their hand and manipulate them and push them to do these things. So we're going to check out this list. It's pretty funny. I took a brief look at some of the companies in there.
Some don't make any sense.
Some don't make any sense. Some maybe surprise you. So check it out.
Oh, you want me to read through it?
No, just look at it. The ones
I am. I mean, I'm wondering why 1-800-CONTACTS really cares about SOPA.
Contacts.
And don't forget, there's also the Protect IP Act, which was, I think, one was in the Senate, one was in the House, and they're both bad.
You can't use the contacts to look at copyrighted material.
You go blind if you see something without a proper copyright.
Exactly. The SOPA contacts.
Now,
the ones that jump out to me, I got Nike.
Yeah, Adidas.
Yeah, the Walt Disney Company.
Oh, that's obvious.
Why is that?
Because they make movies, man. Anyone who makes movies or music and stuff.
Yeah.
One funny thing, though, as long as we're on this, 3M Company. Now, if this is the same 3M, these are the people who make floppy disks. And floppy disks back in the 80s and 90s, where people were using them to just copy games and stuff left and right. That's hilarious.
Maybe they were just joining up so they wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we're not responsible for this piracy. We're on your side. NBC Universal.
Yep.
Which is NBC and Universal Studios combining. They combined to make two shitty companies combined to make one ultimate shit company. So they're all for SOPA. Nintendo.
Yeah, well, Nintendo people threw hissy fits at Nintendo. Then Nintendo kind of retracted, but then kind of didn't retract. It was a mess.
Yeah, it's interesting because people are fighting for the right to, post footage of their games or do playthroughs of their games when the actual company is basically saying we don't want you to be, to do that. It's kind of an odd situation.
Yeah, I want to point out though that Nintendo's on here, Sony is on here, Microsoft is not.
Yeah, I think they were against it, and Google.
Google,
those are
Google.
Those are good partners to have on your side. Google and Microsoft combining.
Yeah,
one ultimate evil company that could probably destroy nations.
You get smacked in the face. I mean, Google would get smacked in the face because they'd be like, "Nope, you can't link to this site. You can't link to this site." Like the search engine would die.
They could take you away in the middle of the night, and
they can probably do that anyway. Oh gosh,
well, they can. We're going to talk about that too. Another one, World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, which I find funny because they're all about. If you watch their shows, they're all about like Twitter and like social media and like looking all like hip on the internet. They're all about like we're so fucking hip on the internet. Everybody loves us, and they're all about SOPA too. So that's funny.
Oh no, Electronic Arts supports SOPA. I thought that they were so good.
Well, some of them you could probably guess without even needing to look at a list. But here's a good one for you: Xerox. What does Xerox do? They make copiers,
making copies
and scanners and stuff.
Yeah, they got copiers that scan straight to PDF, send it to your friends.
What percentage of the stuff that people scan isn't a lot of that copyrighted material?
I don't know, but
if you could not mess with copyrighted material, would Xerox exist? Is my question.
Well, come on, you got business documents and stuff, and
that's all done through emails, dude.
Yeah, you still got to do some forms and garbage like that.
That's all email stuff now. PDF files. Half these companies, if you stop infringing on copyrights, half these companies don't exist.
You know what's funny? I read an article that was pointing out that the movie industry is super anti, super for SOPA and people and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But if I recall correctly, this is what the article said, that a lot of the people wanted to make movies moved from the East Coast because there was too much regulation and stuff, and then moved to the West Coast where it was
the Wild West,
a lot more crazy, and there wasn't as much regulation. And they started by taking stuff like that, like wasn't Nosferatu a blatant ripoff of Dracula and blah 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 blah, stuff like that.
Well, at this point, everything's a ripoff. So
yeah. Oh, another funny thing though, I'm looking through the list. There's Callaway Golf Company, TaylorMade Golf Company. Is someone downloading golf clubs? I'm a little confused here.
And then, the movie industry has lost a lot of money because of piracy, and that's wrong in the music industry, and there's definitely a possible way to deal with that.
Yeah,
but not the way that they decided to come up with.
Another thing is the numbers.
It was like the least creative way to deal with the problem.
Yeah,
it's like there's this one guy in this town that's a dick, and we needed to stop him and teach him a lesson. Burn the whole town down. Kill them all. That's what it's like, basically. Set
up a security checkpoint to keep.
No, it's just like kill everyone.
Yeah. Oh, another thing. A lot of the figures that they're coming up with, like this cost $500 billion. Those figures make absolutely no sense because people will download things that they would not necessarily actually purchase.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I mean, that's when I was a kid. I mean, when Napster came out and all that, I was getting music that I had no possible way I could buy because I had no money.
Yeah.
So
one other thing, assuming I can remember what I was about to say before we change topics. Frel, remember what I said about my brain being awful?
It's pretty bad.
I just lost it. This is horrible.
While you think about it, here's my point. This is why we read out some of these names. My entire point in all this is that instead of getting so mad at Congress and your old men in Congress and the Senate, use your influence. You have influence. Everyone has influence. Use your influence, your wallet, your voice, and tell these companies that, if they support things like this, they're trying to get things like this done, then you're not going to support their company anymore. And that's what's really going to stop this whole thing. If you scare them with your wallet, then they're not going to, hopefully, they're not going to keep trying to do this and make this happen.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's funny because one of the guys said, like, we're going to, someone from, I forgot what company it was sent to, I think, the president or a senator or somebody said, if we're not going to keep giving you money if you're not going to act in our best interests. Okay. Let's analyze that statement a little. You know what? No, we will leave that alone.
Right.
But I remember what I wanted to say. If you want a really good blog post about this, Jonathan Colton, who's a musician, who serves his own music, he hosts it himself, he does all this stuff without a record label. He basically made a tweet and a blog post that kind of annihilated all this stuff. Like, he said, his tweet was something along the lines of this: "Wow, now that they've gotten rid of Mega Upload, the money's really been pouring in."
Yeah.
Sarcastically. And then he elaborated in a blog post because people were going nuts about it. But he's like, the problem isn't entirely that people just want to steal stuff. The problem is also, in a lot of cases, there's things that you can't get on Netflix, you can't get on Amazon, to download or whatever, that you could just, in five minutes, you don't do anything, and you have this. You don't leave your house, you don't do anything. I mean, when it becomes easier to pay for it than to pirate it, I think people will probably buy more stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the way Jonathan Colton's doing, I mean, there are pirates hurting him, and that's awful.
I kind of agree with that. I mean, it's in a lot of ways, it's so much easier. Like on my phone, I have like the Amazon MP3 app. So if I want a song, I will pay for it. It's like I have my information in there already. It's like one click. I just download it. And if I want to pirate it, I got to look for it. I got to worry that it's going to have a virus attached to it or not be the correct thing or something. So, yeah, I mean, if it's easier, people always do the easier thing a lot of the time.
Yeah,
so.
These companies are trying to hold on to their old business models from back in the day.
Right. Well, it's a great lack of creativity all around. That's what we were kind of talking about. It's a lack of creativity from all these companies in their strategy of putting their stuff out. and protecting it, and it's lack of creativity from Congress and these people where they can't really address the problem. Instead, let's destroy the world, basically.
Yeah. Well, as long as we're on the world,
and they can't be allowed. One group of people like that can't be allowed to pass a law that changes the world. It's just not. You can't do that.
Especially considering how much of the internet, goes through stuff based in the States.
Right.
I mean, think of how much everyone criticized China when they put up their big firewall. We'd be doing like the same thing.
You can't change everyone's life just like that. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Now, there's one other. Oh, sorry. You can go.
Go ahead.
All right. Oh, I wanted to talk about a European version of this.
Okay, I don't know anything about this, so why don't you tell me?
Okay, well, this is pretty recent. It's called, for our international viewers have probably heard of ACTA, the Anti-Counterfeiting Trade Agreement, which is it's a similar bill that it doesn't, like, at least not on the websites I've been to, it hasn't been getting as much traction as, the anti-PIPA and anti-SOPA protests.
Right.
But first of all, it was signed in Poland today. The Polish government has signed this treaty already, and it's a similar sort of bill. I didn't research too much into it because I just heard about it today. But you're gonna be the new correspondent. You're gonna have to figure these things out. Great.
This is your new job.
Okay, but
on top of a merchant and a co-host, now you are correspondent.
Yeah,
we're gonna send you out to Poland.
Okay.
You're gonna go out there. You're gonna stay there for like a month or two, and you're gonna report back.
I can't stay that long. But it's basically they're trying to cut down on counterfeit goods and people pirating stuff on the internet. But the way, I don't know exactly how it's worded, but I get the feeling it's pretty bad. And a lot of people are protesting in Poland right now. People have been hacking Polish government sites.
Yikes.
I get the feeling that they just signed this against the will of the people. At the very least, people aren't happy about it. It's just not good. So you guys, we managed to stall SOPA and PIPA for now, if not kill them until they come up in another new form.
Well, here's my question for you. Here's my question for you. Do you think that this will continue? We're going to keep trying this stuff? Or do you think it'll be like it was 10 years ago when they tried all this crazy stuff? I remember at one point they were trying to make MP3s illegal, like the format.
Which is idiotic.
They tried to do this.
They don't.
And then they kind of like realized that they couldn't. They gave up at one point. It was like they were done.
Government doesn't understand technology.
So what do you think? They're going to keep trying, or do you think they're going to give up like they did back then?
They're going to keep trying. The only way that we can get through this is if somehow Congress becomes 20 years younger, at least, on average, or some people in the entertainment industry and stuff realize, wow, we got to get on this digital distribution thing and stop fighting everyone about who gets to broadcast what, and start making some of this content available at reasonable prices, downloadable movies and stuff. And some of them are good. Some of them are out there, and they're not that bad. I mean, for pretty much I think the same price as renting a movie, you can rent a movie to watch on your enhanced TV or your Blu-ray player, or your computer or whatever. But honestly, I mean, I pay for Netflix every month, and I think that's a wonderful example. I mean, it's not as amazing as it used to be, as everyone perceived it used to be, but that's a good example of making content available. And look at Funimation. You can go to Funimation's channel on YouTube, and they have tons of anime in English and Japanese, sometimes full series, sometimes the whole first season. And okay, they throw a few ads on there. Enjoy. I don't care. Please, I'll watch your ad. Take the ad person's money. Oh gosh, I actually might want this. Yay. But you're making this stuff available to me. I don't need to go find it anywhere else. You're making it easier for me to watch your stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of people are still making a lot of money. So
yeah.
Maybe not as much as they used to, but people are making money. Don't worry about that.
Sorry.
So, like I said, I think you really have to target these companies and tell them to stop this, or you're going to stop participating in their business. Because it's all about control, and they want to limit your options, basically. But here's something that I kind of feel. A lot of people have been saying this. Isn't it a great coincidence in the U.S. that the economy is in the state that it's in, which affects young people more than anyone, because these are people that are trying to, start life and get a career and get jobs and things. And our leaders have no ideas or ability to fix the economy. And then all of a sudden, there's this massive distraction, the possible end of the internet.
Oh my gosh, I hadn't even thought of that. This is an awesome conspiracy theory.
So, well, it's not even a conspiracy. This is what happened. So then, and sadly, the internet's the most important thing to a lot of young people today, right? So all of a sudden, it's like, let's get pissed, let's go out in the streets, let's go crazy and stop this. How dare you touch the internet? So perhaps we could focus a little bit on the economy and our futures as well.
And another thing, here,
that's done.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna paraphrase a meme here.
Yeah.
Picture Mel Gibson's character from, oh gosh, I forgot the name of the movie. Scottish Rebellion fighting. Braveheart, yes. Mel Gibson's character from Braveheart. I am not going to do an accent because I can't do it. But you can grope our balls at the airport, but you'll never take our internet. Because people were spazzing out about the TSA for a while, spazzing out about the economy.
There's always a distraction. Like,
and then bam, look, when was the last time you heard about Occupy Wall Street?
Well, that was 2 months ago. That's done. That's an old story now. We move on.
Exactly.
And all the news now is focusing about the upcoming election.
Let's not even talk about.
Well, what's it going to matter? I mean, the economy, like, who can fix this? It doesn't matter. No one can. If we don't start now, I mean, so it's ironic. There's always some kind of distraction, from the real problem in the world right now. So, no matter what it is, it's always like that. So I want to say this: if you're someone that fought the anti-SOPA battle, and a lot of people did, and you can see now that people made change perhaps in that. I think that a lot of people got afraid. Maybe some of these companies did get afraid. Maybe Congress and they're like, oh shit, we're not going to get votes next time if we're people that vote for this,
Mm-hmm.
So I think people did affect change here, and people do have the ability to change things, and I hope that people now put their focus on pressuring our elected officials to fixing, a lot of the problems that we have.
Yeah, we've shown that we can do something now.
So maybe that's a good lesson. Maybe we had to go through this and be, okay, let's continue.
We need to build. Yeah, we need the momentum
to build. Out. One thing at a time, knock them all out.
I mean, did you see? It's seriously, we basically, and I don't think a lot of older people. Do you think a lot of older people were doing this who weren't, obviously directly involved from like Google or Microsoft or anything? I think this was really like.
No, this is my point though, because like young people fight the battles because they have to get out there in the street and do this stuff.
We can make change,
right? And that's why I said like it's interesting that this the end of the internet, like that all of a sudden like that's going to change the focus. But yeah, you can change anything now. Let's keep going. I'm going to sit here while you do it, but just keep going. So that was our SOPA thing. We haven't talked about SOPA, and I didn't want to. I think it's pretty boring. Everyone has their. There wasn't even like that many different opinions on it, to be honest with you. Everyone was just like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
There's very very few people that were like even coming out and like supporting this. So.
I mean, well, one reason I didn't want to talk about it was I didn't want like a government or RIA hit squad coming to my house to kill me. So.
Oh well, they're gonna do that anyway. So.
Well, zick them. I keep buying my music on Amazon.
Pursue those receipts, Johnny.
I have the discs.
All right. Let's move on here.
All right.
All right. So last week I asked all of the Ramborgia, let us know where you're listening to this show from, where you're listening to the show, and what country specifically are you infecting with the digital gonorrhea that is the show.
We need to make a map of this.
We should do that, yeah. We should do that. I also wanted to use this as a way to figure out where I can go on a trip and stay for free in your homes as well. So that was also part of the strategy of why I asked you to do this. So now I have a great list that I can pull from, and I can show up at your houses and you'll let me stay. Also, I know that OJ has actually been to many nations, right?
A few.
It's kind of surprising they let you into these places, but you have gone to places.
I'm surprised they let me back out.
So,
no, OJ, don't leave us.
So what we'll do is if you've been to one of these places that we mentioned, Okay, so we're gonna call out, like, we'll say the person's name, and then where he's from, where he or she is from. And if you've been there and you have a story about the place, maybe you can tell us a story about it, or what was like for you to go there. For me personally, I've only ever been to Japan. That's the only place I've gone to outside the U.S. So, are you laughing? What is that?
No, that was me inhaling through my nose. It makes noise.
Are you using an inhaler?
No, I just had to sniff.
So yeah, I've actually only ever been to Japan, but I've been to pretty much every corner of the U.S. I don't know if that doesn't really count for much.
That's still pretty impressive. You've been in more places in the States than I have, I think.
I've been like everywhere in the States, but here's the thing: I don't really travel for pleasure. You know, if I want to go on vacation, I'll just stay home and watch movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
That actually is really relaxing.
Yeah, I mean that's all I'll do. I'm not a big like I'm gonna go to whatever and walk around. But if I have some business to attend to, I will go to a location and I will do my business there, and then I will take in the sights and stuff. Similar to what we did with MagFest.
Mm-hmm.
So I've actually, like in the U.S., I've been to a lot of places and I've done a lot of stuff because I have to go there for some reason, and then I'll try to like soak in the local scene, But so that's that. We'll just continue here. Why don't you start reading off, and then we'll kind of comment on some of these places.
All right. This is from Nillass1, or Nillass1. I'm from Chile, and you are awesome. Smiley face.
I believe you are awesome. Thank you.
You are quite awesome.
Thank you for
Nillass.
Spreading the disease in Chile.
Speaking of more countries,
I will be at your home soon, within the week. There's probably a nice climate there right now. It's pretty cold over here. So.
Oh yeah, well it's the summer in the southern hemisphere.
That is awesome. All right, let's continue.
All right. Omega Weapon X2 says, "I'm from Mexico."
Mexico, I'd love to go. It's pretty close.
Yeah, no.
It's
kidding.
connected. It's connected. So I'm definitely going to get there someday.
You wouldn't even need to fly.
You don't even have to fly. No.
I mean, but I'd recommend it. But yeah.
You can go see some luchadors.
Oh yeah.
Some Mexican wrestlers. I actually know a lot of Mexican people. A lot of Mexican people live in the area I'm in, and very beautiful people. They're all nice people, and I love Mexican food as well. So I think it's definitely going to have to happen.
Awesome.
And I love the Mexican wrestling style, the lucha style. AAA, CMLL, Mystico, all that. Let's continue.
All right. I'm from Peru, says Carlos Peru, 11.
That is sweet. I never thought that someone in Peru would be checking out stuff I ever would do.
Yeah, I didn't think.
That's a great compliment, and I really appreciate that.
Someone has heard our voices in Peru.
We have never been to Peru, but our voices have been projected through speakers into the Peruvian country.
Yeah, my friends, a couple of my friends have been there. They really liked it.
Yeah,
they didn't want to come home.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oops.
All right. What else we got?
All right, this one's from Laverty 318, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, Canada, I got to go. I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, I want to go to Toronto.
Yeah. Oh man,
it's not too far.
What, you want to see the Blue Jays?
You've been to Canada a lot because you used to live in Rochester.
Yeah, I've been to Canada twice.
All right, tell us some stories about Canada.
Okay, well, Niagara Falls is pretty neat. The ponchos they give you are basically really terribly thin sheets of plastic, and it's really weird. You can kind of...
Which side of the falls is better? People say the Canadian side is better.
Canadian side is way better.
Okay.
Way better. There's also casinos out there. But one thing about Canada, it's the only country I've visited where I've never gone to a McDonald's.
Why didn't you go? You went to Tom Hortons or whatever it's called?
Tim Hortons.
Oh,
dude, Tim Hortons. They had those near where I went to school. Tim Hortons is amazing. I love their donuts.
We have one in Connecticut.
Yeah, in New York City too. But
yeah.
It's not the same.
No? Why not?
Because you pay with American dollars.
That's the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. You have anything else to say about Canada?
It was a lot of fun. That was I won $3 at a Canadian casino playing slots.
That is great.
Yeah.
That's your awesome story about Canada.
I mean,
What about the story where you drank the Canadian beer and you got so messed up and you went to the strip club?
Well, first of all,
6 chicks and
all
that.
It wasn't beer.
And you and the 6 strippers went on a barrel down the falls. And you landed on a Canadian moose.
And then we rode that moose.
And then the Royal Mounted Police picked you all up and arrested, killed the moose, and then you all ate it.
Yes.
That's the story. That's your story now.
Except it was Jack Daniels.
Okay.
Not beer.
So Canada, I'm gonna make a plan to go to Canada. Within 2 years, I'll say I'm gonna go.
Okay, let's set that. That's by 1/26/2014. You will have gone to Canada.
Okay, let's do that.
Everyone, if he doesn't keep track of this, it's our job to do it for him.
Yes.
We're calling on you.
A lot of the viewers, man, a lot of Canadian viewers. So, gonna have to go and say hi to people.
Yeah. Actually, my family's partially from Canada, Newfoundland, I think.
Your family's like all over the place, man.
On my dad's side, yeah.
And you're Southern too, but whatever. Let's keep going.
All right. The Rucati says, I'm from the far-off place, Massachusetts. It's a scary place here with horrible drivers and stupid people. I'd recommend avoiding it as best as possible.
Why did you say it like that?
Massachusetts?
Yeah,
Massachusetts. I'm from the far-off place, Massachusetts. It's a scary place here with horrible drivers and stupid people. I'd recommend avoiding it as best as possible.
You sound like the Simpsons mayor.
Thank you.
Mayor, what was his name?
Mayor Quimby.
So you have family in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So you go there a lot.
A lot.
And you're a Boston Red Sox fan.
You're darn right. I'm wearing a Boston Red Sox shirt right now. Go Sox!
I've gone to Boston a couple times. I've gone to there's an arcade we used to go to in Massachusetts quite often. I forget the town, what town it was called.
Oh.
Can't think of it right now. But yeah, I spent a lot of time there. Are the drivers that bad? I know they have the weird like turnstile thing. There's like all of a sudden you're
rotaries everywhere.
All of a sudden you're like, what is going? There's like a circle, and you're like, this car's going every direction. What is this?
Yeah.
Why do they have that?
Well, first of all, I apologize for the accent. That was terrible. But
it's kind of offensive. It was kind of racist, to be honest. We'll
John, Massachusetts folk don't count as people.
Oh my god!
I'm kidding, dude.
This is being edited out. Keep going.
Okay, so Massachusetts, apologize for the accent again. But the roads are really weird. You go to comparing Boston and New York, just the street layout. New York's got straight lines. Boston, you're curving around all over the place. You've got side streets. It's really crazy. The drivers are nuts, and they shut off the public transportation, the trains, at midnight. So you have a bunch of drunk people walking in the middle of the street on the double yellow line looking for taxis.
It's like Japan.
It's insane.
Turn off the stopping the trains.
Except it's a lot louder.
But I spent a lot of time in Connecticut, so like Mass is kind of like our neighbor.
Connecticut's a good buffer.
Yeah.
It keeps New York and Boston from killing each
other. Apart.
Yeah, that's basically what it does.
I never thought of that. Yeah, that's true. It's funny because people in Western Connecticut, I think they kind of are more like New Yorkers. What do you think about that? They're usually like, I like the Yankees. I like, the Giants, whatever.
People like Danbury, places like that. North.
Then you go Eastern Connecticut. It's more like Mass. It's more like
you're hitting the Massachusetts.
Where's my freaking clam chowder? And I want it right now. Like that kind of thing.
Go Pats!
That's Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Okay. What do we got? Keep going.
All right. Wonders 225 says, John is always welcome in Lithuania.
So that kind of blows my mind. There's a dude checking out the show, checking out my crazy antics in Lithuania.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
That is impressive.
Yes.
We've crossed into the other side of the world a little bit. We're far out on the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah, that's like one of the best things I've ever heard. Honestly.
Oh, don't worry. There's more.
This next one as well, included in the same category.
Solid G44 says, I'm from Kuwait.
Kuwait. The Middle East.
Yeah.
Spreading the digital disease in the Middle East. Nothing better than that.
Nothing's better than that. Thank you very much. Keep it up. Now, bouncing back to Europe a little bit.
Yeah.
Vector Cookie says, you are from Germany here.
Yeah, Germany. We have a lot of people from Germany. Tremendous amount, including my friend Vossel. Vossel's the dude that makes a lot of the logos. Our entire logo staff is basically in Europe, which is awesome. And he's made a lot of the stuff that's over here, not only like for the show, but my banner on my channel. A lot of the JohnRamboPresents stuff is made by him. So he actually asked me a while ago to do this, so I think this is a good time to do it. He asked me to shout out his friend's band. They're from Wuppertal, Germany. I don't know if that's correct pronunciation. But the band's called Eyes Closed. And you can find them at facebook.com/eyesclosedband.
Nice.
I actually listened to one of the songs. I really like the song quite a bit. And he said, special shout out to Marvin the drummer. So Eyes Closed Band, the best band in Wuppertal, Germany. Soon we'll be touring the world, I'm sure. Very good.
Then they can come visit us.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
But make sure to
I
bring
actually have
your
a friend of mine that I used to play music with all the time. He met this chick that was an au pair from Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So it was that's like a nanny, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was an au pair, so she came from Germany to live in the United States for I think it was like 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
And the first date that he met her and they're going on a date. So she's like, well, I have to bring my friend. And her friend was from New Zealand. And of course I had to come as the second guy. So I didn't really hit it off with the New Zealand chick that well. It was kind of weird. One of the things she said to me was, "What day do you celebrate the Queen here?" So I was like, well, "What do you mean?" She's like, "What day do you celebrate the Queen? We celebrate the Queen on this day." And I was like, "Yeah, we don't celebrate the Queen anymore. There was a revolution, and now we don't do that." But what happened is my friend and the German chick, her name is Andrea. They wound up really hitting it off. They're married.
Wow.
And he moved to Germany.
Huh.
And he's been there for I think 2 years.
Dang, dude.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But she's great, and they're a great couple, and I know they're having a lot of fun out there. So I think a German vacation is in order.
Nice. I always wanted to go to Germany.
There's another one you don't have. It's from Big Bad Den 91. He says, spreading digital gonorrhea here in Germany as well. Okay, let's continue.
All right. 137 Supra says, born in Okinawa, currently living in England.
Okinawa, Japan.
Yeah, the island that's off the area where the other islands are.
Okay.
It's a very different place there.
Yeah?
It's a bit different. One of my friend's family is from Okinawa. She says that it's still Japan, but it's a bit different.
Yeah. Well, it's, I guess it's more isolated, but...
Yeah.
Here's interesting. I met this dude that, when I went to Japan for Togeki, which is the big fighting game tournament, that I earned my way to get into it. There's this dude that was originally from Tokyo. He now lived in London, but he came back just for this tournament to hang out and play people. And he was a beast, man. He was insanely good. He was as good as anyone that's in the U.S. So I don't know if they have that game set up anywhere in England or in the UK, but I'm sure he's killing people if they do. So yeah. What do we got?
So we got Fair 93. I'm from Estonia, the small country. Always welcome, Rambo.
Estonia.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. That was the country that you ever see Encino Man?
If I did, I forgot it.
Encino Man was about this caveman that wakes up in Beverly Hills. It's got Pauly Shore in it.
Oh.
And then they had to they pretended that he was a student or whatever.
Oh, but
and then they said he was
caveman.
He was actually a caveman that was they found in ice.
Ah.
Then they had to pass him off as a normal kid. And they said he was from Estonia because I guess he was stone in the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid, but that's really cool. That's awesome. So thank you for listening to our Ramborgian Estonian brothers out there. So yes.
All right. So this is respectively, this is two comments. Secret Agent Clunk and Resistance 1207. Secret Agent Clunk says, Australia, come to Australia, Queensland, Brisbane. And Resistance 1207 says, no, Melbourne.
I will go both places. Do not worry, my friends.
If you're in Australia, you might as well travel around.
This is the Ramboholics versus the Ramborgia all over again. We don't need this kind of infighting. We have to unite.
Yes. look, you work on the country from Melbourne, and Secret Agent Chunk will work on the country from Queensland.
Okay.
And yeah, I've never been to Australia. My sister lived there for a year. Loved it. Said it was wonderful.
So you haven't been to any of these countries yet, except for Canada?
Yes.
All right.
I've been to a couple from below. Oh, and Japan. Okinawa. I haven't been to Okinawa,
Well,
but Japan.
All right. If we get one, don't be shy.
Yeah, I won't be. I won't be shy.
All right, let's go.
All right. Torberin says, "I'm from Norway, a small country with a big heart."
Yeah, big time Norway presence. The Ramborgians have basically taken over Norway, according to the comment section. It's like 10 people or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
One of my friends loves Norse metal.
Did you go?
No.
Okay.
No. Juicy 453 is from Finland.
Finland, yes. A lovely place I'd like to go to.
There's just
Thank
so
you.
many places to go.
Many places.
Norway and Finland are two places I would love to visit at some point. Pingo 333 is also from Norway. But, I'm just going to list all the Norway ones right now. And
Okay.
Monocle Viking says, Norway, John.
I like he's got the Viking name with the Norway.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Now, as far as this country, Mr. Vilas says, Belgium. Really big smiley face. Belgium is one
I know
of,
you've been to Belgium.
it's
so
one
why
of
don't
my favorite countries.
All right, why don't you talk about it for a while? Go ahead.
Let me put it this way. Belgium was so fun that we visited it twice. We went, I think 3 years ago, with a friend of mine and I, and then we liked it so much we came back and went again the following year.
Where do you go in Belgium?
We went to Brussels, and
Did
we
you
went
did you go to Jean-Claude Van Damme's house?
No, but we did go to the Cantillon Brewery, which is pretty nice.
Oh, yeah?
And we loaded up on chocolate. We went to Bruges. If you've seen the movie In Bruges, it's a lot nicer than they make it out to be.
Yeah, it's an awesome movie.
Oh, it's great.
People probably don't know about that movie. You
Yeah.
actually turned me on to that one.
Yeah.
I actually have it right here. I'm looking at it.
I think I gave it to you, didn't I?
I have it. I don't know. I'm looking
I
at it right
swear
now.
it was a gift
across
from
the
me.
room. That's an
But,
awesome movie. Colin Farrell's in there.
Yeah, it's a dark British comedy.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And then there were some more places. We went to a castle, which was amazing I don't think it was Liège. I have to check. No, Liège is where my grandfather fought in World War II, and some people he met during the war live in Liège now.
Wow.
There were 2 more cities we visited, and for the life of me, I can't remember what their names were right now. That is so depressing.
That's one of your favorite places to go, Belgium.
Oh, I love it. Not just because the food is amazing.
Right.
Not just the waffles and fries. There's something called Stomp. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Steompke. And I am a huge fan of meat and potatoes and sauce, and that is exactly what this is. We went to this one place in Brussels where they serve that, and then you get the house beer. They give you this big bottle with a really happy-looking chef on it. It was amazing. We went to and the Museum of Music. There's a music museum there, which is incredible. I didn't know what to expect. When you go there, they give you headphones.
Yeah, you can listen to stuff?
As you walk around the museum, as you go to certain places, the headphones pick up what instrument you're in front of, and it starts playing that instrument on the headphones.
That's cool. If that was here, they charge you like $6 for the headset.
They very well may have done so.
Like $6.85 plus tax.
And another thing in Brussels is there's a comics museum.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of Tintin stuff, and they even have
Tintin's
Dragon
big time,
Ball.
right? Tintin's big time there, right? You told me that.
Yeah, there was a lot of
You got
Tintin
back.
stuff.
Look, Tintin's over.
Oh,
Tintin's over here.
yeah,
Oh, it's good. Getting over is good.
yeah.
You don't know the terminology. Come on.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little slow.
Okay.
I think Aachen. No, Aachen's in Germany. We almost went to Aachen. Yeah, there was a place with a clock museum where this gentleman collected and built clocks, and he was one of 500 master clockmakers, and there's only 500 at any given time. And he showed us some of his amazing clocks and some trick clocks, and I'm sorry, I could just go on forever.
So you had a great time in Belgium.
Oh my gosh. And not to mention, yeah, and then again, there's the beer, waffles, and fries, and chocolate. I
You
took
might be
photos
going back,
of all the
right?
chocolate.
You
What?
might be going back this year, you told me?
I'm probably going back to Europe again this year.
So we might do a show where you're in Europe.
Yeah, if my friend and I can work out a time when we can both go.
Live from Europe, OJ.
That would be a lot of fun.
All right.
So, okay, that was a bit of a side trek.
Yeah, it's okay.
Going down, we've got Gareth 1233211. I'm from the UK, John, and I'm from Wales, which is one of the 4 countries of the UK. Stay ballsy, John and OJ.
You never went to the UK?
No, my friend wants to go.
Really?
I mean, we might go there this year. I don't know. We were talking
That'd probably
about
be one of the first places. If I go to Europe, I'd probably go there or Italy. Probably be the 2.
Oh, Italy was fun. Yeah.
But yeah. Definitely gotta go because you go to the UK, like they kind of speak the same language as you. Not really.
Mostly.
They kind of do.
No, you mostly speak the same language as them.
That's what I mean. They speak the real version.
They own. Well, although
I speak the East Coast United States type, form.
I've heard
whatever it used to be.
I've heard rumors that say that New England and like the East Coast speak closer to like 18th century England than England speaks now. I don't know if that's true. That's a rumor from the internet that they changed how they sounded to sound cooler. I don't know. Don't look at me, man.
You're telling me a dude in like Brooklyn speaks anything close to what is spoken in Old England? It's not. No.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying that's a rumor I heard. It's
Get over
probably
here.
false, but you
Get out of here.
got to vet this thing.
All right.
All right. So, Joe M 1234569 is from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minneapolis, I actually did not go to. That city has a great history of music. You have Bob Dylan from there. You have Prince, and Jesse Ventura was the governor. So that sounds like a party to me. I'm gonna have to go there someday.
Yeah.
I never went up to that area like that. It just seems cold. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't been there either, but it would
Like
be nice.
Minnesota, like the Dakotas. Like I haven't been up in that area, but I bet it's beautiful. I mean,
oh yeah.
there's a dude. My friend, I think, lives in South Dakota, and it was like named the best town to live in like the country.
Probably because he's there.
And it's like beautiful there. Apparently, I don't know.
Nice.
So maybe I'll find my way there.
All right.
Let's kind of shoot through a bunch of these because due to time constraints,
Okay.
we don't have that much time. So
Toto 2 it says, I'm from Argentina and I approve this show.
another beautiful South American listener. Thank you.
Text says, you're welcome in Cologne, Germany.
Thank you, sir. I will be there soon, within the week.
Furia
Leave the door
Alba.
open.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Furia Alba GOX says, I'm from Romania. People love you guys here. Stay hard and ballsy, my sex offenders.
My sex offenders?
Yeah.
What is going on in Romania, sir?
Maybe they think that we offend people of the fairer sex. I don't know.
Oh, okay. We're offensive sexually.
I prefer that to having
Maybe
sexual
saying
offenses.
if you ever become a sex offender, you can hide out in Romania. I think that's what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all right.
My roommate went there. One of my ex-roommate went there, but
Because he's a sex offender.
No, he was studying anthropology. Okay, so speaking of anthropology, Dead Paul 91 says, I'm from merry old England. We have many ballsy brothers across the pond. Smiley face.
Awesome.
So that's the UK again. Dark Phantom Sky says, we're in Borgicell 7809, location Germany, status active, spreading digital gonorrhea, awaiting future orders. Further orders.
The orders are coming.
Be prepared.
May not like them completely. It involves public nudity, but stay tuned. They're coming.
All right, you want to say this next dude's name because it's
I don't know where we are in the list.
just under Dark Phantom Sky.
Oh, Drunk FUX1.
Okay, all right. He says I'm listening from the UK.
A lot of people in the UK, man.
Yeah.
Tremendous amount. I can't thank all you guys enough. Germany, the UK, Norway. Those are big time for me. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Belgium too, man.
Oh, well,
And then there's also and there's several from Romania. That's great. Just keep going.
all right. 19.
This is just making me feel good about myself.
as you should.
That's all
You
I'm
are
saying.
awesome.
This isn't even entertaining for anyone to listen to. This is just for me and my ego.
All right, well, go for it. You're
So let's
funny
just
and you're
continue here.
egotistical. All right,
All right.
so 19 Ground 084 says, listening in Portugal, Europe. Happy birthday, sir. Stay ballsy. Also, we love OJ.
They also love OJ in Portugal.
Very nice.
I had a friend from that was from Portugal.
Oh,
Yes, he was a very nice guy.
excellent.
He spoke many languages.
More than I do.
Yes.
All right. So Boat Spotter says, UK here, Rambo. Smiley face.
The only story I have about from interacting with someone from the UK, there's a dude that I worked with, and he was an awesome guy. He's from England, and he was probably about 40, maybe 30, maybe like late 30s. One of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Great guy. This was his story. Okay, listen to this.
Mm.
So he was in a band in England, and they were getting pretty big.
Cool.
He actually opened for Bon Jovi in Germany.
Dang.
Okay, and the band was really good. And they started off as a Queen cover band, and they played I guess one of the Queen tribute shows when Freddie Mercury died.
Oh.
It's like back in that era, and I think they were like chosen by Queen's guitar player, which I can't remember right now, which I hate myself because I can't remember the name. He personally chose, that this dude's band to perform at this Queen ceremony, right? So he meets this American woman, I think through the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then what happens is they start talking a lot. She was like a fan of the band. So she comes to England for like a week to hang out with him, right? Then she goes back home. Turns out she's pregnant now.
Oh, no.
So this dude, he's a great gentleman, quits the band, moves to Connecticut, and marries her, and they start having a family.
Wow.
And then that's his new life in the States, and I'm sure according to him, it all worked out better for him because that he actually, being the family man, that's what he wanted to do anyway. So that was cool for him, and we had a lot of fun. Man, we worked together for a long time. So he was a great guy, and that was the story. And he would we always talk about music and stuff, and he loved Maiden, Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah.
We would blast Maiden. We worked in the store together. We night we would blast it, and so we had really good times with that dude. So.
Aw.
I can't remember what town he was from. I'm sorry. I would say, but should have him on maybe.
That would be fun.
All right, I'll try to look him up. Let's keep going.
All right. Cosman343 says, Merry ballsy birthday from Romania, Rambo.
Romania,
Smiley face.
quickly becoming my favorite country. Thank you, sir.
Not to mention the awesome use of alliteration.
Yes.
Okay, so Golden Flare says, I live in Oxford, England. You are welcome to come here anytime. Fellow Ramborgians, it is time we set up our own university to counter all others. There, the Book of Rambo can be preached.
I'm digging that.
It will happen.
Yes.
So, the one called C says, I'm from Sheffield, England, which has...
shitty weather, shitty people, shitty country.
Ha!
What the heck?
Anyway, love the show, and I'm proud to call myself a Ramborgian Rambaholic. Stay ballsy, my friends, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. I don't think you should, well, maybe I'm not sure what he's saying there. Is it actually saying it's shitty, or is he saying, well, we say it where it's good? I don't know what's going on.
Well, I've heard tell that it rains a lot, and
Yeah.
that people might be unintentionally rude, but I
Alright, so
wouldn't say
maybe,
that. They seem pretty cool.
Maybe some of it's sarcastic, some of it's truthful. We don't know.
Mm.
But, hey, man, we're all from somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not about where you start off, it's about where you go and where you wind up and stuff. So.
And the journey.
If you don't like where you're at, then there's many different options here. We're giving you all kinds of options tonight.
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of options...
One of your fellow Ramborgians will take you in any of these countries. Yes.
All right. So, Big Fluffy Tash says, I come from England in a little town called Hastings in East Sussex. So does XQRX 101. Me too, bro, he says.
Yeah, you guys got to get together and do some stuff. Which we have them do. They're so close together.
I don't know. I mean, they could just have a big a Ramborgian hangout. Like, they could all go to dinner somewhere.
Right. They just have to walk through the streets blasting the show.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Because they can do this
just
together.
Get like an 80s style boombox.
Yeah, I don't know if they make those anymore. Figure something out.
All right.
Keep in touch, guys. We keep these guys. We'll write these guys' names down. We're gonna keep in touch with them.
The one called C and Big Fluffy Tash. No,
Yes.
No, Big Fluffy Tash and XQX 101. My apologies.
Yes.
Oh, wait, that's from Sheffield, too. Duh. Okay. Oh, never mind. Sheffield is elsewhere. Moving on, since I got confused and read it wrong. Bombscud says, Ramborja member from Norway. There's Norway again.
Yeah, Norway's big. I'm going to have to go.
I wonder if you can see the Aurora Borealis from there. If so, I'm going to want to go. All right, so Mr. JMD93 says, Ramborja member setting up a clan in England.
Why, thank you, sir.
You got to hook up with those dudes from Hastings, man.
Yeah, we're going to take over several countries in Europe, I think.
I think we'll start with the UK, though. It seems like we've got a pretty good power base there. Then I'd say Romania and Norway.
Okay, that's the jump-off point.
Yep. So Iron Metal 75 says, I am listening to you guys from Canada. Big smiley.
Why, thank you. I don't know if you listened earlier. I promised to go to your country within the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Keep an eye out for him at the border.
If you see a guy with a big nose and a hat walking around, it might be me. Keep your eyes peeled.
Meanwhile, they pull over Groucho Marx.
Okay.
All right. Furisa777 says, I'm from Finland. You can come here anytime you want, but it's cold as Frel in here. So that's another Finland.
Would you wear your shorts in Finland, or would you wear pants? Because you never wear pants.
It depends on the temperature. If it's cold enough...
I don't know if you're going to handle Finland cold, man.
Yeah, if it's cold enough that I'm going to get frostbite and die, I think I'd put on pants.
I think we should go just to see what OJ does.
Oh, boy. That means I'll just bring 2 pairs of everything.
Yes.
All right. So, John Hidge says, I'm from Portugal, but I'm living in Sweden. You can come here whenever you want, and don't forget to bring your pet Darkside Phil with you. It would be fun. Yeah.
I guess you're not invited, John. I don't know what to say.
He could be saying, you could mean both of us.
That's true. Right.
But honestly, I want to visit Sweden.
When we're done with this list, we'll have to talk about where you've actually gone. Because this didn't work out.
Okay. All right. So Tuner X08 says, I'm listening to the show from Hungary. Big smiley face.
Thank you, sir. I think he's the only one that mentioned that he was from Hungary. So that makes it extra special. Thank you very much, sir.
Resistance 1207 says, listening from down under, mate, Australia. You're welcome to live in my house. The catch is, you shall never leave.
Things just got dark. Things just turned evil. I got one you don't have, actually. It says, I'm a UK-based Ramborgian, and I will not cease until all of my fellow countrymen and women are infected with the digital gonorrhea. That's from Bleary Line 7.
Nice.
Yes.
Never give up. Keep it alive.
Yes, never give up. Keep spreading disease.
Mm-hmm. So the man with green socks says, hello, John. I love the show. OJ is awesome, and you are awesome. Long live the Ramborja. From Connecticut. P.S. I don't think my mom would enjoy you crashing in my house for free. Squinty face.
Sounds like a typical Connecticut mother.
Well, I was a little confused.
No, I don't mean it like that.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, you know, Connecticut, I spent so much time in my life in Connecticut that, no offense, I probably wouldn't want to stay there when I have people from Hungary and Norway and all these other places, Lithuania, offering me a room. So, you know, that's cool, but I'm not looking to stay in Connecticut. I've done that more than I need to again.
All right. And the last one I have
You
here.
live in Connecticut, you should imagine.
I live in Connecticut. Yeah, I know what it's like. Oy. Do I know what it's like?
Yeah.
All right. And the last one we have here is from Cyberdemon 531, a very brave man.
Yes.
I live in New Jersey. Not the ghetto gangbang part, but in a nicer area.
Well, here's the thing. I actually like New Jersey, so I think it really gets a bad rap for people that have never even been there. Because of, like, you know, the stupid show, whatever it's called.
Yeah, Jersey
Shore.
Shore.
We're not going to mention.
Oh, sorry.
But, people are like, how many people have even been there that knock it?
People just...
I like it. I spent a lot of time there myself. I had a friend that lived there, and I'd go hang out there for, like, the weekend, and we had a really good time in all the different towns. And there's some stuff there I really like. And, of course, all the Kevin Smith movies are about New Jersey or take place there, and that's a cool thing, too. So, I dig the Jers.
it gets a bad
Jersey
rap.
represent, I think is the line, right?
I think so. It gets a bad rap, but I don't know. People make fun of it anyway.
I like the East Coast, man. I've always liked all the places here. So
Me too.
So we didn't really get to talk about like some of your stories. What if you have a couple of quick ones? I know you have the one when you went to France that you talked about.
Yeah, did I talk about that one? I talked about that one here, right?
I don't think you mentioned it on the show.
Oh.
You told us the story when we were driving to MagFest.
Oh yeah. Do you want that one
tell
now? Or I got another France story that's a little faster.
All right, tell whatever stories you want.
All right, I can save that one for when we have more time. But yeah. Well, it's a little bit more lengthy. But
it's up to you, man. Because
all right. It sounds like you want to hear it.
I don't. I just feel like people might be upset if you don't tell them the story.
Okay, so
tell the stories. I'll be quiet.
I was visiting Paris with a friend of mine. This was on the same trip where we went to Belgium the first time, and we went to the Louvre.
No one from France, by the way.
What?
No one commented from France.
Yeah, I was hoping. I figured I'd get to tell that story, guaranteed.
Yeah. If anyone from France is out there checking it out, maybe they don't like us there. They suck. They suck.
Maybe they were. Well, maybe this is why no one's commented because of what happened here.
Oh, they know you.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone's from France, let us know for next episode, then we'll shut you out or whatever. But
yeah.
All right, continue with the story. I'm sorry.
So, I mean, I had a lot of fun, but we went to the Louvre, and my friend and I wanted to see a couple of the same things, but we ended up splitting up because there were so many. I wanted to go see the objects to art section, whatever that meant, which is awesome. It ended up having swords and cool props that I wish I had for D&D. Anyway, so we split up, and it was a Friday, which meant it was cheaper, and it said that the museum closed at 9:30 or at 21:30. Like, okay, that's cool. So I'm wandering around, and we hit about 8:50, 9 o'clock, and I realized, okay, I got to start heading out soon. And I'm like, oh no, whatever I ate is not happy with me right now. And I'm like, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. So I go I go hunting for a restroom, and I find one which isn't too far away. It's in one of the exhibit sections. So you walk out of the restroom and you're in an exhibit area, where there's paintings and stuff. And so I go to the bathroom and I sit down, and let's just say it was less than pleasant. And let's just say I was there for a while, and I was stuck there. My stomach was being a pain. It was very unpleasant. And then I'm there, and at about 9 o'clock, I hear someone say, "Monsieur? Monsieur?" I'm like, what? Like, hello? And they're like, and then I could just hear them go, "Oh, great, American." Like,
great, it's OJ.
Because they changed. They're like, "Are you all right? Are you all right in there?" I'm like, I'm fine. You have to leave. The museum is closing. Like, okay. Okay. And they wandered off, and I'm still in there because when your stomach's that bad, there's not much you can do. And and they come back, "Sir, you have to leave." I'm like, I'm working on it. I mean, I'm just feeling incredibly embarrassed. This is just awful. And finally, I'm like, okay, that was bad. I mean, I get out, I go to wash my hands, and then the second my hands go underneath the hand dryer, a woman walks in and says, "You have to leave. You don't have time for that." I'm like, dry my hands? I mean, I check my watch, and it's like 9:15 or something. I'm like, the museum closes at 9:30. I'm thinking the museum closes at 9:30, but if they're escorting me out, they're escorting me out. So I step outside of the men's bathroom, and there's a hallway leading into the exhibit. And this woman's, walking right in front of me very stiffly, pretty angry. And then there's a dude at the end of the hall who's just standing there. Like, okay. So I walk, out into the hallway, into the room, and I turn to the right, and the two entrances, one is blocked by two people. Then there's one open door to go through. Like, okay. So I start walking, and I'm like, I'm sorry. The dude's like, it's okay. Just don't worry about it. Just keep going. You have to leave now. I walk outside. We go into another room, and again, this room had two exits. One is blocked by another 2 or 3 people. And then as I go through a big room, there's like 3 people just standing in the middle of it, watching me go. And then I step outside into a main area where there's a stairway and an escalator, and there's like 10 people in a line blocking the entire other side, forcing me to go around. And I'm like, are they all here for me? The guy's like, yes.
Oh my God.
So I just walk outside, and I go down. I walk down the stairs. I go outside, and I'm mortified. And I look. I'm like, what the heck, man? It's supposed to close at 9:30. And then I look at a pamphlet. Museum closes at 9:30. Exhibits close at 9.
Oh.
I meet up with my friend, and it's just one of the most embarrassing things. It's pretty funny. I mean, it's not like they're going to kick me out if I go back, and there was some pretty sweet stuff in there. But,
No, they have your picture now. Don't worry.
Like at 8:50, they're going to be like, sir, you have to leave now. But don't even think of going to the bathroom, sir. Hey.
So do you have any other stories about defecating in monuments or anything else?
We ran into a group of drunk French girls. But
okay, you're gonna have to finish this one.
Didn't go well.
No?
My friend and I are standing outside our hotel, and my friend smokes, so we're standing outside, my friend smoking a cigarette, and these French girls go up to her and say, in French, do you know how to get to blah, blah, blah? And my friend's thinking, okay, I don't know where that is. It's a lot easier I don't know how to say I don't know where that is. I mean, she can understand more than she can speak.
Right.
So she turns to them and says, in French, I'm sorry, I don't speak French, I don't know. And they say, if you don't speak French, what are you doing in Paris? And just like, what?
We should be like, why did you think I was? That's kind of like a compliment. I guess depending on where you are, it's a compliment. People think that you're from that place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But don't get me wrong. I mean, there were a lot of super nice people in France. People were in into at restaurants. There was a pair of dudes who ran a creperie that just had a little cart that made crepes in the morning that we went to get breakfast from like 3 times. The guy was so nice. Those guys were so nice. So the stereotype doesn't hold up.
There's a lot of good people there.
Yes.
I don't know. No one's saying they listen to the show from France, so I have my doubts about this country.
Well,
someone let us know.
I may have wronged them with the Louvre, but I'm trying to make it right now.
You cost us an entire market of listeners.
I'm sorry.
With your bowels. Disgusting bowels.
Hey. It was their food. One of the best meals I've ever had was in France. So there.
All right. Okay, what was it?
It was Moroccan food.
It was French fries?
It's called Atlas in Paris.
Huh.
Yeah, and French fries are better in Belgium.
Okay.
Because they're Belgian.
Are they called? They're called French fries?
Frites.
Oh, you already talked about that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you have more stories about your travels, but we'll save them for another time. What we're going to do is we're going to leave you, and then we'll be coming right back with our guest for the week. It was a pre-recorded interview, which is very good. I hope you stick around and check that out. And so here it is. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. All right, welcome back to the show. Our guest this week can be found at youtube.com/DulayneM, where he does direct capture video game footage with commentary, utilizing his awesome British accent to do so, I must say. Also, he is a director for the TGN Video Network. Coming to us all the way from Birmingham, England, the first international guest on the show. Welcome, everyone. Delan is here.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
So, how's it going, sir? I know you're staying up very late tonight to do this with us.
Well, I'm a nocturnal kind of guy. I'm always up at this time of night, so you can usually find me hanging around 24/7.
That's good to know. So people don't know this. We've actually been trying to get you on for like the last 3 months, but because of schedules and the time difference and everything, it made it kind of difficult for us to put that together. So it's basically right now it's 8:30 p.m. for OJ and I, and for you it's what, like 3 in the morning or something like that.
It's just coming to 1:30 in the morning. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice and early.
That's cool. We appreciate. And thank you for staying up late and coming on with us.
Yeah, thanks.
As the first international guest on the show. So, first I want to talk about your YouTube channel. I'm a subscriber to your channel. I think everyone should subscribe to it, by the way. So how did you get started on YouTube? What made you initially say, you know what, I want to make videos and put them up on that crazy website, YouTube?
Well, it started quite a while back, really. I think it was 2009. I didn't start then, but basically, without saying too sad about it, I suffer with depression and anxiety a lot, and I found myself stuck indoors quite a bit. And I actually started just watching YouTube videos like a lot of people. And I came across Dark Side Phil at one point. You know, the controversial yet ever popular,
Right.
you know, King of Hate and all that good stuff. And I ended up watching him for about a year and a half. And like once he started succeeding, doing really well, it basically inspired me to go into it myself. And I just felt that how he portrays himself and the fact that he's so confident, and it's hard to explain really, just the personal feeling that there's someone that you can relate to. And then I just felt like I wanted to give it a shot myself, really, and that's how it kind of just started.
Very cool. I think the first time I met you was through Phil's website, actually, right?
Yeah, I used to moderate on their website for a short time.
Okay, I think one day you were like, oh, I got a channel going now. You sent it over to me, and I thought it was really cool. I subscribed to it, and I really liked it. So you mentioned that you suffered from depression, anxiety, and I think that's something that kind of affects all of us at one point or another in our life. Being on YouTube now for however long it's been, is that something is it helped in that side of things?
I would say it has. It's helped me become more confident in myself, and I've always been told that if I put my mind to something, it helps you. And since I started doing that, yes, it's been a godsend really to me. It's one thing that's kept me going. I've always enjoyed doing it.
All right, very good. So your actual channel itself, what can you tell us about the channel? Somebody goes to your channel right now, what game footage can they find on there? What's going on over there right now?
Well, it's a bit of a mismatch, really. It's a bit random, but I'm trying to basically cater for different crowds of people. At the moment, I've been doing some mixture of Lord of the Rings Online, which is pretty old MMO. It's not too old, but not too new. And like I've been branching out doing Star Wars, Team Fortress 2. It's pretty much things that I enjoy playing at the time, and I'd just like to share my experiences with the viewers.
When you play those, like the online multiplayer games, do you play with like a set group of people, or do you find random people, or does it just change around each time?
Generally, it's random. It's like some videos at the moment. I'm doing PvP videos. I just go out into wherever it begins, and you just find people as you go along, and it's pretty much like that. Really, it's just random.
Have you hit any people who are somewhat unpleasant to deal with? Like I see you've played some Left 4 Dead 2 way back. Not way back, but you played some League of Legends and stuff. Did you ever get stuck on a team with some people who were just incredibly unpleasant to work with?
Some awful Americans. Any of those?
It's actually the way around. I actually prefer playing with Americans than the Europeans. No offense to Europe, but
yeah, America. Woo!
I've always enjoyed actually playing with people across the pond, so to speak. It's definitely more fun. But
That's
games
cool.
like Left 4 Dead 2, I've got I try and do it with random people, but around my friends and stuff mostly, really.
So I look at your channel right now. You have Star Wars: The Old Republic on there. I'm actually kind of interested in that game now that I have a PC that can actually run the game. So what are your impressions of that game now that you've tried it out and played a little bit of it?
Well, I haven't managed to do too much in there, to be fair, but I've got about level 16, and it's definitely, if you haven't played MMOs before, it's definitely a good one to start with. It's the storyline's really good. You do get involved pretty much very quickly, and the gameplay is very smooth. The only problem I've had, what a lot of people have had trouble with, is the PvP. Like if you want to play against other people,
right?
It can be very sluggish and the frame rate can be very slow, and sometimes it's not really fun. But apparently they've fixed that now. But I couldn't really say. But I've enjoyed it so far. I've only played it for about a couple of weeks.
Right. Well, if I do ever get it, I'll have to play. But I played the the original Knights of the Old Republic games. Really enjoyed those. So I'm kind of interested in trying that out. I'll have to watch your footage to see if I really want to get it or not. But on the games that you do play on your channel, how do you go about choosing which games you're going to play and stuff like that?
It's just literally, at the moment, it's literally what I feel at the time to do. There's no real set pattern to it. The only one plan I've got to do for my channel, I'm actually trying to do playthroughs as well. I'm actually considering doing the Tomb Raider series, going back, to the good old days of Lara Croft.
Oh yeah,
But
I like the original one. I think the most. I used to make her just dive off the the top of some high cliff and fall into rocks and die. I don't know why, but it's one thing I used to do.
I just want to do it for the T-Rex personally, to get the T-Rex killed.
Right, there you go. You have really high quality direct capture going on. That's also something I'm interested in doing soon. So, what are you actually using to direct capture your footage?
Well, if I do console footage, I have a capture card, but it's called the Blackmagic Intensity Pro. It's a bit pricey, but that's what gets me the high definition. And then for my Star Wars footage, have you heard of a program called Frapsint before?
Yes.
Well, there's a new one out there, a different one out there called Bandicam. It works the same, but instead of having, how Fraps does really big files,
Right.
Bandicam basically lets you record it, and then it will squash the files down while you're recording it. And then you can mix in your microphone and everything in one go without having to do much editing, which takes, hours on end to do.
So are you doing audio and visual in the same time, or or then combining the two later on? Like, is it rendering everything together as you do it?
Well, what Bandicam does, it captures your microphone and your game sound. You can actually set the program to capture your microphone at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And then you can take the two tracks out into another program, clean the audio up, and then bunch it back together, and then just basically put it back on the video again.
All right, very cool. What's been some of the challenges you found as being on YouTube, and some of the problems you've encountered being on there? Anything?
It's just being confident in myself and just doing videos and not worrying about haters. Really, I think the main obstacle that I had to overcome was the haters. Really, but I treat it like work. If someone dislikes a video, you just take it on the chin. Ignore the haters and carry on.
It's funny because I don't know if you find this too, but I think the haters actually has sometimes the opposite effect. Like, they're all about trying to bring you down and making you maybe not want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
But it almost has the opposite effect where it actually makes you go, I want to do this even more and do an even better job, and so
it just motivates you that someone's actually taking the time to watch a video.
Right, that's always nice. They're watching it, so
yeah.
At the end of the day, you got to thank everybody that watches, I think.
Yeah.
So I mentioned you are a director for TGN. So what exactly can you tell us about that group, TGN?
Well, TGN's pretty much like your machinima, your game station, but they're basically a smaller group. They are still, you could say, a startup company. I think they've only been around about 2 years or so. And they're just basically trying to grow up to be a gaming network now, like machinima are at the moment. Okay.
Do they have like a main website or anything, or?
Yeah, they've got their own website. It's tgen.tv, and basically they're trying to build a website where everyone can share their videos. So any new and upcoming YouTube directors can post their content on there, so other people can see it. So giving people the extra tools they might need to help get their videos noticed, and help their brand awareness become get out there a bit more.
That's cool. So it's kind of like a machinima. That's the one that people know the most. What do you think are the benefits for being in like a group like that? Do you feel that that's like a better thing to do than being by yourself?
Well, that's the great thing about companies like TGN at the moment. They are looking to help people who are smaller, like myself. I mean, as you probably noticed when you first subscribed to me, I wasn't that big at all. But I was able to go to them, and they were willing to give me a chance.
I'm going to do a little promotion for you, I guess, and get some more people in there.
Because ultimately, they gave me the partnership as well, which was, to me, it was unbelievable when they did it. But
very cool.
So, do they give you free reign to do videos on whatever you like, or are there any restrictions or anything that they gave you, or?
Apart from copyrighted music, no, you can do what you want.
Yeah, okay.
as long as it's game related, yeah.
Huh.
So what's the best thing about being on YouTube for you? What's like what's the best thing that's happened because of it, or?
It's just finding a newfound belief in myself and knowing that if I try something, that I'll give it a go. And it's just being able to express myself and see people enjoy it and enjoy, conversing and, getting that communication going between yourself and the viewers. That's what I've really grown to enjoy, really, the most part.
Right, there's nothing better than that, I'd say. So, well, we'll talk a little bit about being in the UK and being a gamer in the UK and all that stuff. So, where do you guys buy game? Where do you personally buy games in England? I guess.
Well, we've got two. Well, first of all, we did have GameStop, but they didn't really.
Oh.
We did have GameStop over here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how popular they are over there.
Over here?
Yeah,
GameStop?
I know that it's quite big over there. Is that GameStop's the main supplier?
Yeah, GameStop is pretty much a monopoly over a lot of things here, but I think people are starting to realize maybe it's not the best place to buy games anymore. So you said you did have a GameStop actually?
They were GameStops, but they changed their mind for some reason. They didn't see a market in the UK because we have got. It's almost a monopoly, I suppose you could say, but we've got a company called the Game Group, and they own their own brand and they own another store, and they trade under two different names. And then we have different music stores like HMV, Blockbusters over here as well.
So you still have music stores there?
Somehow.
Yeah, there's actually very little stores now that sell just CDs.
Yeah.
And pretty much no one does it anymore.
I've only seen one in the past 3 or 4 months.
So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, GameStop's not cool. Some of the stuff that came from America, I'm sure you know, is very cool. Like rock and roll's cool and Coca-Cola, things like that. GameStop, no. So that's cool. That's cool that the people of England, the beautiful people of England, decided we don't want to support GameStop. So that shows a great intelligence in your country. I may have to move there someday.
I wouldn't know about that. I actually would like to move over to the States eventually.
Oh,
all right. Well, yeah, we should talk about that too. But when you buy, do they sell used games in these stores?
Yeah, it's quite popular. It's very popular indeed. And then, I would say it's very popular indeed, to be honest.
Okay, sounds pretty common with what we have here. Do you guys have arcades left? Did you first of all, did you play in arcades when you were younger, or do they still exist now?
They still exist. They're not as wide scale as they used to be. I think it's the same as over where you are, really. It's died down, to be fair. You don't see many around. Maybe like at the odd cinema complex and stuff like that, but nothing to really write home about.
Was that something you were into, going to the arcade at any point?
I was never really one who had the money to do that, really. I suppose you could say I had a bit of a poor background, so I wasn't really able to get too much in games.
Right, I understand that too, so...
Yeah.
How much? I don't know I guess if you don't go to the arcades too much, you probably wouldn't know. But I remember that in different countries they cost a lot, like different, very, very varying amounts of money. Like I remember in Japan, most games that I saw were about 100 yen, which was about $1, a little more than $1 now. How much were? Have you ever noted how much games cost in the arcades or a movie theater somewhere over where you are?
I think a credit would normally be £1, so it's about. If you convert it to yours, about $1.50.
Wow!
Right.
Or
expensive.
Between 50 pence and £1, probably, depending on the game.
Huh. I can see why they're not doing super, super well.
I might be wrong, but the ones I've seen are not too good. But like I say, they're in the cinema complexes and places like that, where people are probably more inclined to spend that money because they're just there.
Cool. What are some of the games that you and your friends used to play when you were younger? Games you were into when you were a kid?
Well, I've never really had too many friends in the past, to be fair, so I couldn't really say too much about that. But mostly my main interests have been like RPGs. So, But I've had pretty, like I said, unfortunately, I've been a sheltered child, I suppose you could say, and I'm reliving my youth now. A bit late, but
Right. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you get it done at some point, you know.
yeah, the games list is getting larger and longer by the week.
All right, good.
More and more and more.
So OJ brought up Japan and differences between all the different, you know, gaming cultures across the world. And having gone to Japan, I'd say the games that are popular there are pretty different than a lot of the games that are very popular in North America. So do you feel there's a difference in between what's popular in the UK versus what's popular in North America at all?
No, I'd say it's pretty similar, to be fair. I mean, I went to a couple of game launches over the past few months. And for example, Modern Warfare 3 was as popular as ever.
Okay, well, yeah, that sounds pretty common.
But yeah, I think it's pretty much the same, to be fair. There's not much difference.
Pretty similar. I mean, kind of speak the same language in a way. Not really, but, you know.
Somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle, yes.
Well, I'm curious, actually. Have you in the States? I mean, when we hit about December, pretty much all my friends and a lot of people at my office start going crazy for all of the Steam sales and Steam nonsense that Valve's doing. Have you seen a lot of that stuff going on in the UK as well? Or do people kind of rave about Steam at all?
They do. I know I do. I'm always cursing at it because they put the deals on when I've got no money.
Oh, yeah. My friends are always really sad because it always pops up, and I'm like, I don't care if it's 75% off. I can't do this now.
Yeah, it definitely is quite bad. Sometimes people always, I am really like, oh, I want to get this, I want to get that. It's like, I can't remember some of the deals, but yeah, it's pretty crazy sometimes.
Did you get caught up in the? I think they were doing this pretty much everywhere that you had access to Steam with the winter achievements and stuff they were going for, where if you do certain achievements in certain games, you'd either win a piece of coal or a coupon or something. Or did you just see that as kind of silly?
I think I got discounts for all the games I already own, to be fair.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. Like, ooh, I got a 50% off Valve coupon. Well, Team Fortress 2 is free now. I mean, Half-Life 3 is nowhere on the horizon, so what am I going to do with this?
Exactly, that was the... But, yeah, it's all good there.
Now, you said you would actually consider moving to the States someday. What location would you like to go to? What's interesting to you? It's a big country.
I probably want to go East Coast. I'm trying to think almost near a city, but like, you know, near maybe more rural, but with good links to the cities, like New York.
Okay. You might want to come down to where I am. I actually I'm right outside New York City, and I got train access right into the city. It's really nice. Or actually, where OJ is really good. And we can all meet up. OJ can take us out to dinner and pay for the whole thing, so that would work out.
Okay.
I'm going for that if you'll do it.
That's cool that you pick that you would say the East Coast. I actually really like the East Coast, and I've been here my whole life. Because most people would go right for California or Florida or something with a more mild climate. But
where snow is a word that is ne'er on the horizon.
Right. Well, we should do East Coast in the summer, and then you could plan a summer home. Maybe.
That would be pretty sweet.
How about for me? If I wanted to go to England, which I do want to do, I actually want to go to a lot of places in Europe. My family's from Europe, and I've actually never been able to go. So, where do you recommend I go and hang out?
Well, London ultimately is going to be your best place to start. To be fair, go and see the Queen, or
I can just go up and meet her or say hi to her, walk right up, just go out and shake her hand.
You could try. I'm not sure how far you get past the guards, but
okay. I'm on YouTube. I can do anything. I'll just tell them that. They'll let me right in. I have a YouTube channel. Okay.
Well, the way you handled a Magfest, I'm sure you'd be fine in Buckingham Palace.
Yes. Okay, you saw that.
Now,
that's what you got to do. You got to come to a convention, and then we can hang out.
Yeah. Do they have any really big gaming conventions over where you are?
Nothing as big, really. We had Eurogamer Expo in London. I think it was last autumn, and then there's like a small one where I am, but nothing to the scale that you guys do.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I guess people got too much time in their hands here. I don't know what's going on with that.
It's all that personal time you guys get over there.
I guess so. I don't know. So, what games are you looking forward to in 2012, and what can we expect to see on your channel over the next couple months?
Well, the main projects I'm going to be doing is the Tomb Raider series. I'm going to be trying to play the games basically from the first one and go all the way through to Underworld, because I think the new Tomb Raider comes out this year, is it? Or is it next year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. They showed it at E3 last year.
Yeah.
So, it's probably coming soon.
Yeah, there's that, and then probably the new Bioshock.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, I want to see how they've been able to, bring it forward, considering how they've changed from being a normal guy to being a big daddy. What can they do next?
Right.
I'm just going to spend most of the time trying not to go flying off of ledges. If you're really in that, up in the sky all the time.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, especially if you're being chucked around everywhere all the time.
Well, I mean, that's a big change. I mean, the first Bioshock, it's so claustrophobic. I mean, there's a few open areas, but you're pretty much indoors all the time, hoping the water doesn't come in and crush you to death. This is going to be pretty much the opposite thing. This is this is an agoraphobic's nightmare.
But the strategy was I think the strategic side of it was always good. You couldn't just run into a room and expect to walk away with the girl.
Yeah, that's a great game. Like, I don't even like I'm not even very into first-person shooter type games or first-person view games, but I love Bioshock. I think it's great. So.
Yeah, that'll be a good game to see, and then probably maybe Final Fantasy 13 Part 2. I'll still get.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You said you liked RPGs, so what do you think about that game? Does it look pretty good, or?
From what I've seen, it seems pretty interesting. They definitely have tweaks it a little better. I like how I think they've changed it where you can follow the story closer and stray off at if you want to, or you can stay with the story. That definitely sounds like an improvement to the last one.
Are you into Mass Effect?
Yeah, I've still got to play Mass Effect 2, but I'm holding that until close to the date, so my mind's refreshed for it.
That'll be very cool.
Pardon? Are you looking forward to Diablo 3 at all? I mean, it's kind of an RPG if you count clicking on everything to be role-playing.
Never really played that kind of game, to be fair. It might be worth me giving it a shot, trying it out. I do try and branch out a little bit. I did try League of Legends recently, and that's probably not the same thing, but I might give Diablo 3 a chance and see what it's like. I've never really touched that kind of game before, so you could say I'm a newbie at heart.
Well, it's a lot of fun. Just remember to pick up everything you see on the ground. If you can. It basically becomes, okay, how long can I kill things and how much loot can I gather before I run out of space?
Oh, yeah, I know that life.
I think you also mentioned Team Fortress 2 earlier. Unless I'm hallucinating again, which has been known to happen.
Yeah, you heard that right. You're doing fine.
Okay. 'Cause, I was wondering if you had a favorite class or something in that, because I like to play that game a lot, and...
I gotta say the pyro, just because you can harass everyone if you fire.
If you want, one of the most satisfying things that you can do as a pyro is if you go into the options and tell it to play a sound whenever you hit an enemy. Then when you set someone, so say you're playing sniper or demoman, you shoot somebody, ding, ding. Oh. You're a pyro, you light them on fire, ding, 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 ding. You get into a clump of people. It sounds like someone's gone berserk on a bell. It's amazing.
You have to give that a go for sure. I've not heard of that one.
Oh, it's great. It's in like advanced options or something. It's well worth trying.
All right. So I think we're starting to wind it down here. I don't want to keep you up too late. We've already done quite enough here. Where can we find you? Are you anywhere besides the YouTube channel? On Facebook, Twitter, any of that stuff going on? Yeah,
I'm on Twitter. I'm not sure if I heard it right. Did you say DulayneM N or M at the start?
Oh, M, right?
M,
DulayneM.
Yeah.
We'll have to spell it out for us. So it's, why don't you spell it for everybody so they can find the channel easily?
Yeah, it's DulayneM. I'm trying to get Delan. Apparently, there's a way you can get there's a channel for Delan, apparently. And I suppose there's a way I'm trying to get that so I can have just Delan. But I'm not sure what.
So like someone else has the channel, or it's like already taken?
It's taken, but it's closed, so I'm not sure what happened. If it was a early haters opened it and closed it, so I can't use it. But
Right. Well, as you know, there's no way of contacting YouTube, like, via the phone or anything like that. So, good luck.
yeah, but I think that's a good thing about TGN. I think they'll be able to help out. They are very supportive, like I say.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's also a good reason when you have someone helping you out like that. So that's cool. Do you do the Twitter, Facebook, any of that stuff, or just on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter and Facebook. If you just type in Delaney, you'll find it, because I'm pretty tight on the searches. So if you just type in Delaney into Google, I should be on. You'll see all my social network at the top of the first searches.
All right, I'm definitely going to put the links to your channel in the description of the video, and hopefully everybody goes and checks it out over there. If you want to watch really good-looking game footage with a dude with an awesome British accent, that's really pretty out. So, and a good sense of humor, as you can see.
I try my best. My accent's fun, but sometimes I wish I could just put it in the cupboard and just leave it there for a few days.
Yeah, well, I understand that. So, do you have any final words for us here, Delan?
No, that's pretty much good. I hope people just enjoyed learning a bit about a random Brit who likes playing video games.
Yeah, definitely check it out, and hopefully the three of us can hang out someday, maybe in London, maybe New York or something like that. So you mean OJ one day are gonna hang out. That's the plan right now.
Sounds like a plan to me. I'm definitely looking forward to something like that.
All right, let's get that done. All right,
be a lot of
John,
fun.
book the flights. You're paying for the whole thing. All right, so
Think about your writing.
yes, exactly. All right, so that's gonna do it for the show for this week. We will return next week, our usual time, Friday morning. We will have another guest on as well, and hopefully everybody checks that out. Thank you for watching the show today. For Delan, for OJ, thank you for listening to John Rambo Presents the best in free and optional entertainment. Good night, everyone.